everyone. Welcome to Chapter 9, the production systems. So, as we dive into the heart of how modern business thrives, you need to imagine the complexity that's behind creating everything from your favorite, let's just say, sneakers to smartphones. It's all thanks to the production systems that turn those, let's say, raw materials into those finished products. So, ready to hit the market as well. Now, in today's digital age, production isn't just about making things, it's about making them smarter, faster, even better. So, as we explore this chapter, we're going to uncover the strategies, technologies, and even the management techniques that drive product production efficiency and even innovation. So, let's just say from the seamless integration of automated systems to lean manufacturing methods that reduce waste and even boost that output. Production systems are the pulse of competitive business operations. So let's get ready to see how these systems are just about those factories, even the assembly lines. They're the engines that power every aspect of the digital enterprise. So let's start our journey and let's discover what it takes to bring ideas to life with maximum efficiency. So in this chapter, we're not just studying those concepts. We're going to be embracing a dynamic exploration of how production systems shape the digital enterprise. And as we dive into each learning objective, you should develop a holistic understanding of how today's managers navigate those complex systems, deliver exceptional products, and even optimize every stage of production. Here's what to expect. So if you look at this, the systems is the first section, section 9.1 in the systems perspective. We're going to get ready to elevate your thinking. You're going to learn how to view businesses as interconnected systems, in other words, adopting those seven powerful principles that can transform your management approach, even your decision making skills. We're also going to the value chain and the value webs. We're going to discover how value is created from, let's say, from start to finish, and you're going to analyze how those value chains and those value webs operate, and even tackle the controversy of offshoring, exploring its impact on the global production. We're also going to go over the supply chain, which is a 9.3, and this is where we dive into the strategic world of supply chain management. That's essential for getting those products from suppliers to customers seamlessly. And by now, you should start having that understanding why it's crucial for business success, even the competitiveness. Four, we're going to learn to make those big decisions. And we're also going to explore those key planning aspects, let's say from forecasting to capacity management to even scheduling and that resource allocation. 9.5, we're going to prepare to identify the unique hurdles that come with delivering those top notch services, from perishability to customer interaction, and even how to overcome them with effective strategies. 6, we're going to break down the essence of quality, understanding how complexity though it impacts and those tools that are needed to maintain that excellence across production. And of course, the last one, the smart factories, the industry 4.0. This is where we step into the future with the industry. This is where we delve into those digital transformations of the manufacturing, focusing on that AI driven smart factories that redefine that productivity. So I'm hoping that by the end of this chapter, you should have a knowledge, even the tools to think critically, those management systems efficiently, and what drives those meaningful results into the evolving world of production management. So let's get ready to challenge yourself throughout this chapter and take this leap, forward into mastering the production systems. So I hope everybody's excited, and I hope you're ready to learn. So as we look at this first slide, it introduces a systems view of business. And this is where which it emphasizes how all of the elements within that organization are interconnected and how they work together towards achieving that common goal. Now, if you think about it, a business system consists of input processes and outputs, forming that network of coordinated type functions. And this approach right here highlights how each department and activity is part of a larger framework with every action that's influencing the others. And by adopting a systems perspective, organizations can now identify those efficiencies, even improve communication, and align its resources more effectively, leading to more integrated and agile operations. Okay, so you need to view the business system as foundational to operational efficiency and how it emphasizes a need for coordination among those various functions to transform, keep in mind, those inputs into those valuable outputs. Okay. And this perspective here is going to help the managers pinpoint all of those areas for improvement, streamline up processes, even achieving, those better results. But ultimately, adopting a systems view, to allow those organizations to maintain flexibility, optimize those resources and drive the overall performance. Now, when we look at this slide here from the point to line to circle, the systems view, this illustration here, or, it illustrates how businesses have evolved from focusing on those isolated tasks, to, let's just say, from adopting to a more interconnected and dynamic type approach. But it also highlights the transformation from handling individual tasks in isolation to managing those processes in a comprehensive type system, and but it also emphasizes a continuous feedback and even the improvement. Now, this visual shift, as an example, from a point to line and finally to a circle, pretty much represents the growing complexity and the maturity of of those modern management type techniques. And it also aligns itself with how those companies adapt to the changing demands, and how they also optimize the performance, and even integrate that learning. So let's start off by this point view. And this point view here at the very, very top just pretty much represents the most basic from the task management. And that is where each activity is executed independently. But as operations become more efficient, businesses tend to transition to that line view. And in that line view, this is where processes are now organized sequentially, allowing for the smoother type of task flow. You know, so the most advanced stage now that you have here that you see at the very bottom is the circular view. And the circular view, this is pretty much incorporates that feedback, the mechanisms, the enabling adaptive systems that are constantly improving. And this shift here is very, very crucial for businesses that want to stay competitive in a rapidly changing market by leveraging those insights to refine the processes continuously. Okay. Uh, so overall, the evolution, let's just say from the point to line circle, it represents that fundamental shift. Okay, keep that in mind, and how the organizations approach their processes. So this transformation here, it's not just about improving efficiency, but also about creating the self correcting system. And this is where each circle enhances the next. Now, as I mentioned, that circular approach, it aligns with modern business needs, emphasizing the agility, customer responsiveness, even the continuous improvement, and these principles that are very, very vital in today's fast paced, data driven environments. But it also enables those organizations to adapt quickly to those changes, innovate effectively, even consistently, deliver those better outcomes. Now, moving into the managing systems for peak performance, you know, this slide right here just pretty much focuses on the strategy, on those strategies, for managing these systems effectively and how to achieve that peak performance. But it also emphasizes the importance of that holistic type approach. And this is where the interaction between the components is as important as their individual performance. But the underlying goal here is to create a more adaptable, efficient, and even a resilient system that can consistently deliver those optimal results. So how does it do all of this? It helps everyone see the big picture, meaning that for any organization to even operate efficiently, all of the team members need to understand not only their individual roles, but they also need to see how these roles contribute to the broader organizational goals. So seeing the big picture, it just means grasping how those various processes interact and how they contribute to the overall success, creating that alignment, even those shared purposes across all the departments. Okay. So an example here would be, let's just say in a software company, the developers, the marketers, even the customer service representatives, and they all need to be aware of how their roles impact the customer satisfaction and product success. The second one you have is understanding how the individual systems work and how they interact, meaning that a business system is primarily composed of the multiple subsystems. Let's just say, for example, finance, HR, production. While it's essential to optimize each subsystem, understanding how they interact is very, very critical for a system-wide improvement. Now these interactions here between the system, between these systems can now produce the unexpected outcomes. So both these positive and negatives, which need to be managed carefully to avoid, let's just say, those inefficiencies. So an example here would be, let's just say, in a manufacturing plant production, quality control, even the logistics, they need to coordinate seamlessly to ensure timely delivery of defect-free products. Then you have understanding those problems before you and try to fix them, meaning that effective management starts with having that deep understanding of problems, not just their systems. Identifying the root cause is very essential to prevent recurring issues. Jumping to solutions without even understanding the full scope of a problem can also lead to temporary fixes that fail to address those underlying issues. Let's just say, for example, if sales drop suddenly, management needs to explore all the possible causes, let's just say, such as market changes, product quality, even marketing strategies, rather than simply just boosting advertising spend. Then, of course, you have understanding the potential impact of solutions before you even implement them, meaning that before you implement the solution, it's very, very vital to assess how it's going to affect other parts of that system. And this right here involves conducting an impact analysis. And that's just to ensure that the changes won't create new problems elsewhere. Testing proposed solutions on a small scale, or even using simulations that can help predict their impact on different subsystems. Let's just say, for example, when you implement a new software tool into a customer service, managers should now consider its effect on response times, employee workflows, even customer satisfaction before you even roll it out. You know, then you have, don't just move the problems around, you need to solve them, meaning that it's pretty easy to shift those issues from one part of the system to another without even truly solving it. But this approach here can mask mask the real problem, leading to, let's just say, those inefficiencies or even the recurring issues. Now, the true problem here is solving involves addressing the root causes and creating sustainable solutions that can benefit the entire system. Let's just say an example. If production delays are addressed by rushing shipments, it could possibly create logistic challenges, higher costs, even inventory issues. It could solve one problem, but it could create others. The next one is you have understanding how feedback works in the system. Now feedback here is very, very crucial for maintaining and improving those systems' performance, but it also allows the managers to even monitor the effects of changes, adjust the processes, even refining those strategies over time. Now, having that effective feedback also loops, help identifying the areas for continuous improvement, but it also ensures that new processes are functioning as they're intended to. Let's just say an example here would be a retail environment. Customer feedback on product quality should also be used to inform production adjustments and future product designs. Okay. Using mistakes as opportunities, and that's to learn and even to improve. So if you think about it, mistakes should not be seen solely as failures, but you need to view them as opportunities for growth and learning, analyzing what went wrong, why it happened, and how can it be prevented in the future. That can strengthen the system, but also encouraging a cultural of learning from those mistakes also helps create an environment that is adaptable and even resilient. Let's just say, for example, if a new marketing campaign underperforms, analyzing the data can also offer those insights for refining the strategy, leading to, let's just say, better results for future campaigns. So keep in mind that managing systems for peak performance is about seeing the big picture and ensuring that all those components work together, as I've mentioned, seamlessly. So it's just not about solving that individual problem, but truly understanding how each part interacts and how it impacts the whole system itself. So by focusing, as I've mentioned, on the root causes, anticipating those effects of the solutions, and even using feedback to continuously improve, organizations can now create that dynamic, high performing systems that are adaptable and even resilient. You know, embracing the mistakes, as opportunities to learn, even to innovate those, the driving growth and the excellence at every given step. Now, with this approach, keep in mind that businesses, they don't just fix problems, they transform processes for lasting success. Remember that. Now, this concept here of the business transformation systems, it shows how those inputs are now converted into outputs through a series of transformation components and even functions. Now, the model that you see here in this Exhibit 9.2, it highlights the core idea that all businesses, regardless of the industry, they engage in a transformation process that converts those resources into those desired outcomes. Okay. And how do businesses how businesses transformation systems works. You know, it works. It's a it's structured around three key elements: the inputs, inputs, transformation components and functions, and the outputs. Okay, so I'm going to break down each one of them. Okay, I'm only going to cover, let's say, the first one and the third one, which will be restaurant and retailer. Retailer. Sorry about that. Okay, so we have the representative outputs, which is what you see on the top left-hand corner in yellow. Now, those inputs, those are resources that kickstart the transformation process, but they vary across industries. Generally, they may include raw materials, labor, technology, even customer demand. So let's say restaurants there, those inputs include the hungry customers and the food ingredients. On the retailer, those inputs involve the shoppers and the stock goods. Now, these inputs here, they represent the raw materials that organizations use to start the production or even the service process. The next one you have is the transformation components and even functions. So once these inputs are gathered, they're now processed through specific transformation components and even functions. And this step here, it involves the use of people, equipment, technology, even procedures to convert those inputs into outputs. Okay, so let's go to the automaker in green. Now, that automaker, those tools, equipment, robots, and engineers, they're involved in fabricating those parts and assembly, the assembly of cars, and then you have the research services. And that's where you have the researchers, the writers, the web producers, and they use that gathered data to analyze, write content, and even produce, those reports or web pages. Now, these transformation functions here, they represent the operational core of a business, where meaning that where those resources are used to create value and achieve those desired outputs. The next one you have are the representative outputs. And within this representative outputs, this is where those outputs are the final products or services that are delivered to the customers. But they also reflect the successful completion of the transformation process, aiming to meet those customer needs and the business goals. So the first one you see here is the restaurant, meaning that this is where the output is satisfied diners as food has been served and customers' hunger has been addressed. On the retailer side, this is where the output, is the sales to satisfied customers, which indicates that products were successfully promoted and even sold. Now, these outputs here, they represent the end goal of the transformation process, showcasing the value that's delivered to the customers or even the users. So the overall function of business transformation systems here is, it's a continuous cycle where feedback, let's just say from outputs, helps refine those inputs. And those transformation functions, this model here just emphasizes The efficiency, meaning ensuring that those inputs are utilized optimally to produce the best outputs. Adaptively, adjusting those inputs or even processes based on the changing customer demand or even the market conditions. And also the quality assurance, meaning that it ensures that the outputs are consistently meet that quality standard and the customer expectations, So by converting all of these resources through a well-managed process, these processes, organizations can now deliver that value, and drive that growth, even remain competitive in their, let's just say, respective markets. So, but this transformation systems here, it applies to virtually every industry through the specific inputs, processes, and outputs, which vary. So in the value chain, this represents the entire sequence of activities that are involved in turning those raw materials into the finished products, that reach the customer. But it also encompasses all of the elements, processes, even the interactions that add value at each step, from the initial sourcing to the final delivery. Now, this value chain is very, very crucial for identifying those opportunities to increase efficiency, reduce costs, even improve product quality. But ultimately, it enhances that customer satisfaction. Now this value chain here, it includes everything that contributes to the creation of value in a product or even a service. It's made up of primary activities that directly relate to production, let's just say, such as inbound logistics, meaning receiving and storing of those raw materials, operations, converting those materials into the finished products, outbound logistics, distributing those products to the customers, marketing and sales, promoting and selling the product, and service, meaning that you're providing the after sales support to ensure that customer satisfaction. Now, these primary activities, they're supported by secondary functions. Let's just say like human resources, procurement, technology development, and infrastructure, meaning all working together to enhance value at each stage. Now, an example here, let's just imagine a coffee company, the inbound logistics. This is where the company sources coffee beans, let's just say from farms, ensuring the quality and timely delivery. The operations, this is where the beans are roasted, ground, even packaged at a processing facility. The outbound logistics, this is where the finished coffee products are now shipped to retail stores and even supermarkets. Marketing and sales. This is where the company now promotes its products through, let's just say, advertising and even special promotions to attract the customers. And of course, you have service. And this is after the sale, the sales services. This includes handling customer feedback, providing brewing tips, even ensuring that product quality through, let's just say, that continuous feedback. So at each given stage in this value chain, it adds something meaningful to the product, transforming those raw coffee beans into a product that even satisfies the customer's expectations, creating a loyal customer base. So keep in mind that in this value chain, it's about more than just manufacturing a product. It's about creating that customer-centric value at every stage. Now, by understanding the value chain, the company can now, or companies, sorry, plural, can now pinpoint those areas of improvement, enhance operational efficiency, and deliver that high quality product that meets those customer needs. Keep in mind that a strong value chain not only boosts profitability, but it also drives that competitive advantage in the market, making it a critical component of a business strategy. So now what you see here in the extending organizations with value webs, these two distinct strategies here that you see, this is where businesses use these strategies, that businesses use to expand their operations, outsourcing and value webs. Both of these methods here, they aim to boost efficiency and drive growth, but function differently within the organization. Okay, outsourcing, here, as an example, this is where businesses now collaborate with external partners to handle those specific functions or even processes, allowing them to tap into specialized skills or even services. But it also helps those companies streamline operations by shifting non-core activities to experts, enabling a more focus on what they do best. Let's just say, as an example, a tech startup. It may work with an external IT firm, as an example, to manage its cloud infrastructure, ensuring that robust data handling without investing into internal teams or even infrastructure. Similarly, a retail company, as an example, might partner up with a third-party logistics provider to manage that inventory and deliver that that more cost effectively. Outsourcing, keep in mind, is about enhancing efficiency and reducing those costs. Okay, but it also provides businesses with that flexibility to scale operations, let's just say up or down, and respond to those market demands, and also gain access to a new capabilities without permanent commitments. And then, of course, you have the value webs. And this is where it represents a broader network of interconnected partners, all working together to, let's just say, co-create that value. Unlike the more linear approach seen in, let's just say, the traditional supply chains, the value webs foster multi-directional collaboration that boosts innovation and agility across the business. Let's just say, for example, in the fashion industry, a brand's value web might include fabric suppliers, designers, digital marketing teams, even influencers. Now, each partner here contributes to creating a product that will resonate with the customers itself, while allowing the brand to adapt quickly to, let's just say, new trends. Sorry about that. And then, within those value webs, it enables those businesses to be more adaptive and innovative. Keep in mind that the focus here is not just on efficiency, but on creating those synergies among partners that lead to faster innovation cycles, more customer centric solutions, and even that shared risk management. So the key differences between these two the operational focus, while outsourcing is centered on executing specific tasks more efficiently by leveraging those external expertise. The value webs in itself emphasize a holistic collaboration, let's just say, among partners to, continuously generate new ideas and improve those processes. The collaboration scope in itself, meaning that outsourcing typically narrows its scope to those isolated functions, whereas those value webs, they encompass a wider spectrum of interconnected activities that collectively enhance overall business performance, adaptation speed. Now, while these value webs are inherently more flexible and responsive, allowing those companies to quickly adjust to market shifts. Outsourcing, though effective for cost management, tends to have a more defined role and fixed agreements, offering less room for dynamic adjustments. So, in closing, keep in mind that outsourcing and value webs, they both extend the business reach, but they do so in their own distinct ways. Keep in mind that outsourcing, it focuses on improving those specific areas by bringing in that expertise, cutting those costs, and boosting efficiency. While those value webs, they drive that deeper collaboration and the faster adaptation across the entire business ecosystem. So together, these two right here, they provide those companies with the tools to be more agile, resourceful, even competitive, in an ever-changing market. Now, these two significant trends here in the global business strategy, offshoring and reshoring, both these strategies here, they involve the geographical reallocation of business operations, but they have distinct implications, for cost, quality, even, those local economies. But as companies seek to optimize performance, the decision to offshore or even reshore, as an example, operations becomes a central topic of debate. You know, in a detailed type description, if you look at it this way, offshoring, it occurs when the companies relocate part or all of its operations to a facility in another country. And this could also mean moving manufacturing, customer service, or even those IT services overseas. Now, the primary driver here, keep in mind, is behind offshoring, it's to reduce the labor costs, you know, even access those specialized skills and enhance the operational efficiency. You know, let's just say, for example, a US based apparel company. It could possibly move its production, let's just say, to Southeast Asia. And that's to benefit from the lower manufacturing costs, even faster production timelines. But similarly, a software firm, as an example, could also relocate those customer support, let's just say, to India. And that's to tap into the skilled labor at a fraction of the domestic cost. Now, the appeal here of offshoring, it lies in its potential to significantly lower operational costs, allowing those companies to reallocate savings towards, let's just say, R&D, meaning research and development, or market expansion. However, it often comes with challenges such as language barriers. That's a very hot area. Cultural differences, even the potential quality control issues. Keep all of that in mind. You know, wherever there's a good, there's also a bad. It may not work at all times. Now, reshoring. Reshoring here, this is the process of bringing previously offshored operations back into the company's original country. Now, companies here may decide to reshore or even regain control over quality, enhance production speed, or even support the domestic job growth. Now, this strategy here often aims to enhance customer perception, reducing the supply chain risks, but also to meet demand for locally made products. Let's just say, as an example, a consumer electronics company. It might reshore its production of high tech components back to the US, and that is to ensure the higher quality standards, the faster innovation, even the better compliance with regulations. Meanwhile, let's just say a furniture brand might bring manufacturing back to Europe to reduce, let's just say, those lead times and meet the consumer demand for local produced goods. While reshoring can also improve quality control and foster stronger connections with those local markets, it's it also tends to increase production costs, requiring those companies now to invest, let's just say, in automation or even advanced manufacturing technologies, and that's to maintain that profitability. Okay, like I mentioned, wherever there's a good, there could also be a bad. Now, the key differences here is strategic focus, meaning that offshoring primarily seeks cost savings and access to broader talent pools, while reshoring it focuses on the quality control, reducing the supply chain risks, and even supporting the local economies. Now it does have an economic impact, and that is that offshoring can also create the economic growth in developing those country in developing countries by providing jobs and even improving that infrastructure. Conversely, reshoring also aims to boost the economies by increasing the local employment and reinvigorating the manufacturing sectors. Operational considerations, meaning that offshoring can also introduce complexities in communication, logistics, even compliance. And that's whereas the reshoring reduces these complexities, but it also typically comes with the higher labor and the production costs. So in summing all of this up, both the onshoring and the reshoring, the strategic moves driven by the different business priorities and market conditions, while offshoring can also enhance the cost efficiency and even the global competitiveness. Reshoring now prioritizes the quality, speed, even the domestic job creation. Now, the decision to offshore or even reshore also reflects a company's broader goal, and that's whether it seeks to even maximize those cost savings or even strengthen its local presence. Keep in mind that successful businesses, they often blend both of these strategies here, adapting to the changing market needs while managing those costs and quality effectively. So now we jump into the supply chain. And this is essentially the backbone, if you think about it, of any product driven business. It's a series of interconnected systems working together to, let's just say, move those goods and materials from their starting point all the way to the final, to the end, to the consumer. You know, you need to think of it as like a relay race, as an example. Each player has a role, and success will depend on the seamless coordination. You have that key idea, meaning that the supply chain includes everything from sourcing raw materials to manufacturing, warehouse, and distribution, even the delivery to the customers. So you need to visualize this. When you order a product online, the supply chain is responsible for every step of the process, from the initial material sourcing to the arrival of the package, you know, to your doorstep. So it's just not about moving products. It's also about ensuring quality, efficiency, and customer satisfaction at each given step. Then you have, of course, supply chain management. And that's where you take the concept of the supply chain and you turn it into a strategic advantage. So it's about coordinating business procedures, policies, and tech systems. And that is to ensure that each element of the supply chain operates smoothly as a cohesive unit. You need to focus on this supply chain management, and that is by meaning that that it integrates those processes like procurement, as an example, production, inventory management, and logistics, and that is to reduce costs, improve speed, and even enhance the overall service levels. Imagine this: supply chain management is like the conductor of an orchestra, synchronizing all of the instruments to create a harmonious performance. So in business terms, it's about minimizing those delays, optimizing resource use, and even meeting the customer demand efficiently. Meaning that to have an effective supply chain management, it just means that you have to have better risk management, those stronger relationships with the suppliers, even sustainable practices, which you can now set a business apart in a competitive market. So in essence, the supply chain here, it serves as the backbone of production and distribution, meaning it moves those goods efficiently, let's just say from suppliers to end customers, uh, you know, but it also enhances this process by integrating business procedures, policies, even technologies, and creating a more cohesive and synchronized system. Now, effective supply chain management not only ensures a smoother flow of materials, but it also improves responsiveness to market demand, minimizing those costs, and enhances that customer satisfaction. You know, Keep in mind that a well managed supply chain is key to achieving a competitive edge, driving efficiency, and delivering value across the entire network. You know, so now that I've gone over all of that, I'm going to introduce you to two more components of effective supply chain management. That's inventory and inventory control. Now, keep in mind that both of these elements is very, very crucial for maintaining a seamless flow of goods, ensuring that production runs smoothly and the customer demand is consistent, consistently. Sorry about that. Now the difference between these two, or a little bit about the two, I'm going to jump into it, is that the inventory here, this includes all of the goods and materials that a business keeps in stock to support production, sales, even the distribution. But it also acts as a buffer, allowing those companies to fulfill the customer order, even if production schedules, fluctuate, or even supply delays may even occur. Let's just say, as an example, retail store. This keeps a variety, a retail store here keeps a variety of clothing items in stock to cater, customer demand during different seasons. But it also maintains sufficient inventory levels to ensure that popular items are available during that peak, shopping times. Let's just say like the holiday season. So the main goal here, of inventory management is to balance enough stock to meet demand while avoiding excessive quantities that are going to tie up the cash and storage space. And then, of course, you have inventory control. And this just pretty much goes beyond just having stock on hand. It focuses on optimizing those stock levels and keeping an accurate track of where products are even stored. But it also ensures that businesses have the right amount of supplies in the right place at the right time. Let's just say an example here: a supermarket chain. It uses that inventory control system to monitor product turnover, that product turnover rate. When, let's just say, certain food items are low in stock, automated systems then trigger reorders. Preventing the stockouts while minimizing the waste from overstocking. Having this effective inventory control also reduces costs by preventing overstocking or understocking, minimizing wastage, even ensuring the products are available when the customer needs them. Okay, keep that in mind. Now that we've gone through those, we're going to dive right into the three crucial methods that are used to enhance supply chain efficiency. That's procurement, material requirements planning, which is known as MRP, and enterprise resource planning, which is ERP. Now, keep in mind that each of these here, they play a unique role, in ensuring that businesses have the necessary resources and systems to maintain production flow and meet the customer demand. Okay, keep in mind the procurement. Procurement is the foundation of any production process. Okay, it's not just about buying the materials, it's about making the right decisions to source raw materials, components, even supplies that will drive the quality and the cost effectiveness of the final product. Imagine, imagine this as a shopping phase of production, but with much more at stake. Okay. Think of procurement as more than just acquiring materials. It's about strategic sourcing, identifying reliable suppliers, negotiating the best terms, and ensuring that timely delivery. Okay. It's like a building puzzle. Each piece or material must fit perfectly to form the complete product. Okay. And then, of course, you have materials requirements planning, known as MRP. Okay. This is your crystal ball into the future. It's a planning system that works backward, from the sales forecast, and that is to ensure that every needed material is in place for production. You know, it's all about predicting demand. It asks what materials will we need to fulfill future orders, and, you know, then works to ensure those materials are available when needed. Imagine running a restaurant. Materials requirement planning, known as MRP, would ensure that you always have the right ingredients before customers even start ordering. It's about avoiding production delays, reducing overstock, even streamlining the production timeline. That's what that is. Then you have enterprise resource planning, known as ERP. And this is like having a control tower for the entire organization. It's a comprehensive system that integrates all parts of the business, you know, let's just say from manufacturing to sales, even HR. Okay. ERP doesn't just manage resources, it ensures that all of the departments communicate seamlessly to create efficiency and alignment across the board. Okay. Pictured as a central nervous system. Just as the brain sends those signals to coordinate body movements, ERP also coordinates processes to keep the business running smoothly. And together, procurement, MRP, and ERP, they form the foundation of an efficiency supply chain. Procurement ensures the right materials are sourced. MRP synchronizes production with demand, and ERP, it integrates all the business functions from seamless operations. Now, by using these systems, keep this in mind, by using all of these systems here, organizations can now achieve better coordination, reducing those costs, and respond more effectively to market demands. And this integrated approach here, it leads to a more agile, scalable, and customer-focused supply chain. Then we run into production and operations management. Okay. And this is fundamental to every organization. It involves overseeing all activities necessary to transform, keep in mind, those raw materials into the finished goods or even services. And this role here, it covers everything from planning production, schedules, even managing those resources, to ensuring the quality and maintaining efficiency throughout the process. You know, a good example here. Let's just say a car manufacturing plant. Consider that production management here ensures that each car goes through an assembly line efficiently. Let's just say starting from the frame, then adding parts like the engine, the wheels, the electronics, to even the final inspections. But it also ensures the plant has the right materials at the right time. Workers are also trained for each given step or each step in the process, and the quality of each vehicle is up to standard before it even rolls off the line. Okay. So now we dive into the core elements of effective production and operations management. And this covers the strategic decisions that shape how a company produces its goods and services. Let's just say ranging from the facilities, you know, that are located to how these resources are planned, schedules are made or managed. Sorry about that, and even efficiency, that is maximized through the lean systems. Now, each of these components here, they work together to create a streamlined, cost-effective production process that meets customer demand while reducing waste and delays. Let's just say the location of facilities. This is very crucial for optimizing production costs, transportation efficiency, even customer service. But it also involves selecting a site that balances access to raw materials, labor, distribution channels, and even customer markets. Then, of course, we have design. And this just refers to the layout of the facility. Picture that, arranging how you're going to arrange the machinery, the storage, the workflows in a way that maximizes productivity and ensures safety. Now, having a well designed facility also ensures that smooth production flow, which minimizes the wasted time, but it also enhances the worker efficiency. Let's just say, for example, Amazon, the fulfillment centers. It's strategically located, if you think about it, or if you've seen one, near a major city and highway to speed up the delivery, while the internal layout is optimized for quick picking, packing, and shipping. Okay. Then you have the forecasting and capacity planning. And this involves predicting future demand to ensure the business can meet customer needs without overproducing or even underproducing. Having these accurate forecasts also enables efficient resource allocation, and it also minimizes the costs that are associated with excess inventory or even those stockouts. Capacity planning, that determines a production capacity that is needed to meet the demand. But it's also about matching production capabilities with anticipated demand levels, which can also include adding more equipment through hiring additional staff, or even scaling back operations when necessary. Okay. Let's just say, as an example, in the retail industry, forecasting holiday demand is critical to ensuring sufficient inventory. Misjudging demand could also lead to empty shelves, or even excess stock impacting profits. Then, of course, we have scheduling. And scheduling is about planning when each activity should happen to ensure timely production. This also involves creating timelines for tasks, allocating resources effectively, and even managing those workflows to maintain smooth operations. Let's just say it's like putting together a complex puzzle. Ensuring that all the materials, equipment, and staff are available at the right times to prevent those delays. Let's just say, for example, in a bakery, you know, Scheduling here ensures the bread is baked early in the morning, to be ready for morning sales. While cakes, on the other hand, those are prepped in the afternoon for special orders. And then, of course, you have lean systems. And in the lean systems, this focuses on maximizing value by reducing waste in the production process, just like it reads, lean systems. Keep that in mind. It's a very important word. You will see this again somewhere down the line. Okay. So in this lean system, this includes minimizing unnecessary movements, reducing waste, also reducing waiting times, or even eliminating defects in products. Now, the concept of just in time, remember that word too, just in time, JIT, is a key part of lean systems. Producing only what is needed when it's needed, thereby reducing the excess inventory and costs. Let's just say, as an example, Toyota, a pioneer of lean manufacturing, produces vehicles based on customer demand rather than preset production quotas, resulting in lower inventory costs and higher efficiency. So these two here, these two vital components of production and operations management, capacity planning and critical path, you know, this is very, very vital here. These two components here are very vital. Now, these elements, they play a crucial role in meeting customer demand and ensuring the timely completion of projects. Effective management, on the other hand, of both of these can be streamlined production processes, reduce costs, and even enhance efficiency. Okay. Capacity planning in itself, it involves establishing the optimal level of resources that are needed to meet customer demand. It's about ensuring there are sufficient resources. Let's just say, like machinery, labor, even materials. And that's to handle production requirements without under or overutilizing those assets. And in this process is very, very essential for balancing production with demand, adapting to market changes, and maintaining operational efficiency. Let's just say, for example, a retail company. It might increase staffing levels during the holiday season, but that is to meet higher demand or even reduce capacity during the slower months. You know, and then of course you have critical path, and in this critical path, it's a project management concept that is used that's used in PERT, meaning program evaluation review technique. You know, this defines the sequence of tasks, that it takes the longest time to complete, dictating the overall duration of the project itself. Now, focusing on the critical path, managers can also allocate those resources more effectively, identifying those potential bottlenecks, and even ensuring the projects are completed on time. Let's just say, for example, in building construction, in this critical path, this could possibly involve laying the foundation, which also needs to be completed before other tasks. Let's just say, like installing the framework, could possibly begin. You know, production and operations management. Keep in mind, it plays a critical role in converting those resources into those finished goods and services. And ensures that the operations, are efficient, cost effective, and customer focused. Let's just say, from managing all of the activities in production, as covered in the first slide, you recall. And that's coordinating those specific functions like capacity planning and mapping that critical path for project success. You know, so production operations management ensures that the organizations meet the market demand consistently and reliably. Then we jump the into these two concepts here in the lean systems: productivity and lean systems. And these are key drivers in achieving the efficient production processes. Now, both of these here, they focus on maximizing those outputs while minimizing, let's just say, waste, and making them essential for companies that are aiming to enhance performance and maintain the competitiveness. Productivity, you know, this measures how efficiently an organization converts those inputs, let's just say, like raw materials, labor, and energy, into those outputs, those finished goods or even services. This is a, a vital indicator of performance. showing whether those resources are being used effectively, you know, whether they're being used effectively to produce those desired results. Now, the higher the productivity, the more value a company generates from its resources. Let's just say, for as an example, let's use a bakery producing 100 loaves of bread with 10 workers. That has a higher productivity than, let's just say, one producing 80 loaves with the same number of workers given those similar resources, you know? And then, of course, you have in the lean systems. And in this lean system here, it's designed to enhance productivity by reducing waste in all of its forms, whether it's wasted time, materials, or even effort. Now, this all originated from the Toyota production system. These lean principles here, they're now applied, across various industries to achieve that streamlined processes, sorry. And the lean focuses on eliminating anything that doesn't add value to the final product. And this could also include reducing delays, minimizing overproduction, even ensuring quality control at every step. Let's just say, as an example, in a restaurant, a lean system here would involve optimizing the kitchen layout to reduce the time wait staff spends retrieving those orders, ensuring quicker service, even the higher customer satisfaction, you know? So both the lean system and the production and operations management, all of this, they emphasize efficiency, quality, and even continuous improvement. Okay. Now, while the production operations management oversees the overall flow of production activities, it ensures that resources are also utilized effectively. Now, these lean systems, keep this in mind, they specifically focus on maximizing productivity. How? By minimizing waste and delays. So keep in mind that this approach here, it not only boosts output efficiency, but it also improves cost effectiveness and customer satisfaction. Now, keep in mind that together, these strategies create a streamlined, adaptive, and high performance operational environment, you know, by reducing inefficiencies and aligning those resources with demands. And businesses can now enhance their competitive advantage and maintain agility in responding to to changing market dynamics. So this here, the Gantt chart, okay? This Gantt chart here, it boosts productivity and efficiency by providing a clear visual roadmap of tasks, timelines, and even dependencies. And it also helps teams manage time effectively, synchronizing those efforts and adjusting those schedules to maintain steady workflows. Now, by tracking progress in real time and optimizing resource use, it also prevents delays and keeps everyone accountable. You know, this here, this here leads to better coordination, improved accountability, and streamlined process. Making the entire project run smoothly and even efficiency. How's that? Like, it can be, clarity in any or in an organ, clarity, sorry, and clarity in organization, meaning that it transforms those complex projects into a clear visual roadmap, making it even easy to task sequences, dependencies, even timelines. This simplifies understanding for all the team members and the stakeholders. Efficient resource allocation, meaning that by mapping out, the start and end dates of each tasks helps managers allocate resources optimally, also ensuring that personnel, materials, and equipment are available when needed. Time progress tracking, meaning that it allows the teams to monitor progress at a glance, identifying whether those tasks are on track or even delayed. Keep in mind that this is a real-time view facilitating quick decision making, and timely adjustments to maintain, you know, to ensure that the project remains on schedule. It identifies bottlenecks, meaning that this chart here in itself, the Gantt chart, it highlights the critical path, pinpointing those tasks that could, delay the entire project. You know, this also enables the proactive management of potential bottlenecks, keeping the project moving efficiently. Um, it improves communication, you know. So as a visual tool, it's effective for communicating the project plan, to its team members and stakeholders, aligning everyone, on timelines, even priorities, and fostering better collaboration between the teams. So just imagine planning a marketing campaign with multiple steps, such as brainstorming, content creation, media planning, even a launch. This Gantt chart here could show how these tasks overlap, highlight the dependencies. Let's just say, for example, media planning. It can't start until the content is finalized. And tracking the campaign progress to ensure a timely launch. In short, Gantt charts, they drive productivity by improving planning coordination and accountability while boosting efficiency by streamlining those processes and resource utilization, you know. So I just spoke about the Gantt chart a couple slides before. Sorry, about the just in time, okay? And this here, the just in time, a little more in depth, this is an inventory system. This is a key component of the lean systems. And this also aims to enhance efficiency by ensuring what materials and goods are delivered exactly when they're needed in the production process, meaning that it minimizes the waste and even the inventory costs. Now, this just in time here, this is a strategic inventory management approach that is designed to reduce waste by reducing the materials just in time for production. So rather than holding a large amount of stock, as an example. And this also emphasizes the precision and timing that ensures that each part arrives before it's needed on the assembly line, meaning that it minimizes the storage costs, reduces overproduction, but it also keeps production flowing smoothly. Let's just say, as an example, an automotive manufacturer using this method here, the just in time, it would receive car parts like, let's just say, engines and seats only when an order is placed, avoiding the costs of storing excess inventory. You know, but this also requires a strong supplier relationship and accurate demand forecasting to ensure timely delivery and preventing any type of production delays. That's what this is, you know. So now we're going to explore the three distinct production methods: the mass production, the customized production, and the mass customization. Now, each of these here, this each approach here reflects different strategies for meeting customer demand, meaning ranging from the producing, of those larger quantities of identical goods to even creating the highly tailored products for, let's just say, individual customers. Let's start off with the first one, mass production. Okay, this is just the manufacturing of those large quantities of, let's say, identical goods or even services. And it also uses the assembly lines and standardized processes to maximize efficiency, reduce costs, and even achieve those economies of scale, meaning that it's commonly used in industries like, let's just say, the automotive and electronics, and even the consumer goods. This is where uniformity and high volume is very, very crucial. Let's just say, as an example, think of it as of a soft drink, soft drink company producing, let's just say, millions of identical bottles of soda, which ensuring the consistent taste and packaging. And then, of course, you have customized production. And within customized production, this just involves the creating of a unique product or even a service that is tailored specifically for each customer. And it also focuses on meeting those individual needs rather than producing the standardized goods. Now this approach here is very, very common in industries, let's just say, like luxury goods, made to order furniture, or even personalized software solutions, where customer requirements vary significantly. Now, an example of this is a tailor creating a bespoke suit based on the individual measurements, and preference is an example of a customized production. Okay. So, in summarizing all of this, these three here, mass production, customized production, and mass customization, they represent different approaches to meeting the customer demand. Okay. Keep in mind that mass production, it emphasizes efficiency and consistency by creating large volumes of identical goods, making it cost effective. Customized production, on the other hand, focuses on individualization, meaning tailoring each product to the specific customer needs, offering a greater personalization, but at a higher cost and slower speed. Meanwhile, customization, it combines the best of both worlds, delivering products that offer personalized features while maintaining that efficiency and scalability through the standardized process. And this blend here allows those companies to cater to diverse consumer demands without sacrificing production speed or even affordability. So as we continue to move along, we only have about 7 slides left. This exhibit here, 9.4, the simplified PERT diagram for a store opening. This slide right here illustrates the program evaluation review technique, which is known as PERT, this diagram here. And this is for planning, planning the opening. As an example, this one here, it's used to illustrate the planning opening of a new store. It visually maps out the sequence of tasks that are required to complete the project, breaking it down into individual steps with specified timelines. And this diagram here is an essential tool for understanding task dependencies, managing resources effectively, and also ensuring timely completion of each particular phase. Now this diagram here, the PERT diagram, it starts with a project launch. And it's then followed by the parallel of tasks that must be completed to meet the project's ultimate goal on opening day. And it breaks the project into 3 primary paths. The first one is the promotion path, the staffing plan path, and the merchandising plan path. Okay. Now, the diagram, keep in mind, it helps identify the longest path of the project, which is known as the critical path. And in this case, the merchandise path, which takes about 52 days, which is what you see there, 52 days, in this particular critical path, it indicates a sequence of tasks that determines the minimum project duration. Meaning and delay here will then affect the overall project timeline. So in the promotion plan path, which is what you see at the very, very top in green, this involves creating advertisement, placing ads, allowing time for promotions to run, culminating in about a 38-day timeline. Okay. And then you have the staffing plan path. And in this staffing plan path, this covers planning, hiring, and training of employees that are required a total of 51 days to even complete. And then, of course, you have the merchandising plan path. And this focuses on ordering and receiving merchandise, which takes a total of 52 days. Okay, keep all of that in mind. Now, the function benefits of this diagram, the PERT diagram, is to visualize the task dependencies, meaning that it clearly shows which tasks need to be completed before others can start taking or making it easier to manage those workflows and avoid those bottlenecks. It also improves the time management, meaning that by assigning a specific duration to each particular task, it helps project managers estimate the total time that is needed for project completion and adjusting those schedules to meet those deadlines. Enhancing the resource allocation, meaning that it allows managers to allocate those resources. Let's just say, for example, staff, budget, materials. That is, that's to the most critical tasks that ensures that those key activities receive priority and sufficient support. Then, of course, you have facilities risk management, and that's by identifying the critical path. This PERT diagram, as an example, it helps the team focus on which tasks that could potentially delay the entire project in itself, enabling a proactive management of risk. So why use it? We ask ourselves, or you're probably asking yourself, why do we use it? So this is an effective tool for planning, scheduling, and coordinating those complex projects. But it also allows for better decision making, particularly in managing those tasks with, let's just say, dependencies, ensuring that those projects are completed on time. And this diagram here also, it's especially useful, in those scenarios where there's tasks that are interdependent, as an example, providing a clear visualization of how delays in one task can impact the other. So now we have in this particular slide, this slide here highlights the unique challenges that are faced in the service delivery, meaning, where they're compared to product-based businesses. Now, these services here, they have a distinct characteristic that make them harder to even manage consistently, requiring more flexible strategies, and that is to ensure quality and customer satisfaction. Okay. Now you have perishability, and this just means where these services cannot be stored, let's just say, for future use. They exist only during the time of delivery. If not consumed when offered, the opportunity is even lost. Let's just say, as an example, an empty seat on a flight. It can't be sold after departure, resulting in loss of revenue. Location constraints, meaning that unlike other products, many services require the customer to be physically present. Let's just say, for example, when you receive a haircut, medical consultations. This also limits the potential customer base to the geographic area where the service is offered. Let's just say, as an example, a local restaurant, it can only serve customers within its vicinity. And then you have scalability challenges. And this can also be difficult to scale those services. Why? Because they often require more personnel time or even specialized resources. This automation here can also help, but certain services, as an example, let's just say like healthcare or personal training, they still rely heavily on human involvement. Let's just say, as an example, a popular boutique gym, they may struggle to serve more clients. How? Without sacrificing that service quality, or even expanding facilities, performing variability or even perceptions of quality, meaning that service quality can vary significantly based on, let's just say, who delivers the service and under what conditions. Customer perception, as an example, also varies based on the individual expectations. An example of this, a customer's experience at a restaurant could or may differ based on the server's attitude, food preparation, or even the waiting time. Customer involvement. Now, this service delivery often requires active participation, let's just say, from customers, making the processes highly interactive. This can also impact the service quality positively. How? By providing feedback, or negatively. Let's just say, if customer involvement slows the process. An example of this is a cooking class. Could possibly rely heavily on participants' engagement and also readiness to learn. The service provider interaction, meaning that the quality of service is directly affected by the interactions, between the service provider and the customer. Good interactions, enhancing that customer, enhancing that those customers, in an engaging way. It could lead to dissatisfaction. An example of this, let's just say, a friendly and attentive server in a restaurant. It can also create a positive dining experience, while a rude customer, as an example, can turn customers away. So in summary, service delivery just represents, the unique challenges due to the, let's say, its intangible, interactive, and time-sensitive nature. You know, so now we're going to explore these three here: scalability, quality, and quality control. I'm going to highlight how businesses ensure consistent performance, they meet customer expectations, and how they manage growth efficiently. And having a better understanding of these elements is very essential for achieving long term success and customer satisfaction. Okay. Scalability. Keep in mind, this just refers to, to the business ability to increase production capacity, whether it's by expanding operations or even replicating the existing setup. Quality, on the other hand, it focuses on how well, a product or process is agreed upon, standards, or even the customer expectations. It's about ensuring that final output consistently, that and that it matches the desired characteristics, let's just say, such as taste, durability, or even functionality. And then, of course, you have quality control. And this here just differentiates itself by being the post production phase of quality management. And it also involves measuring the product against those set standards, identifying the defects, and removing any conforming products from reaching its customers. Let's just say, for instance, it could be checking for cracked eggs in a batch before they even reach the store shelf, you know? So then we continue building these concepts of quality and quality control, you know, and that's through, these that it's consistent quality across all the company operations. So I'm going to go over the quality assurance and total quality. And quality assurance right here, management, total quality, which is part of total quality management. Quality assurance just represents a comprehensive proactive strategy to prevent defects throughout the production process. And it also involves setting company wide policies, procedures, and best practices that ensure that every product meets established standards before reaching the customer. Unlike quality control, which inspects products after production, quality assurance integrates checks and balances at every stage of the process from the design to the final production. Let's just say, for an example, electronics manufacturer, they might implement, quality assurance by setting design standards, training assembly workers thoroughly, and maintaining a rigorous equipment check. And then you have TQM, and this extends the principles of quality assurance further by embedding quality into every aspect of the organization. And it's not limited to production, but it also covers all departments: marketing, HR, customer service, and even others. And that is by fostering a culture of a continuous improvement and collaboration. Let's just say, for instance, in a hotel chain using TQM, not only would the housekeeping staff follow cleanliness protocols, but the front desk also employees would also adopt procedures that enhance customer satisfaction. Now this quality assurance, it ensures processes adherence, while TQM, on the other hand, emphasizes a culture of excellence, making quality a shared responsibility across the organization. Okay. And then you have the statistical process control, which is the Six Sigma. you know Now, this right here, this is where transitioning from broader quality management strategies, these two quantitative techniques, they're aimed at achieving high level precision and performance in production. Okay. Now, these two here, statistical processes control, known as SPC and Six Sigma, you know. Now, SPC here uses a statistical method that's such as random sampling and control charts to monitor production processes. And that is by analyzing the data through production. Now, this SPC, as an example, helps detect deviations, let's just say, from quality standards early on, enabling timely corrections before the defects even occur. It also employs a variety of statistical tools to monitor the quality of the production processes. And this is the most common tool, which is the control chart, which will display data over time and help identify trends or shifts in processes. And by distinguishing between common cause variation inherent to the process and specialized cause variation due to specific issues, SPC here, special statistical process control, enables, you know, enables this, to occur, or sorry, enables the managers, on the other hand, to determine when corrective actions are even needed. Let's just say, for an example, in a pharmaceutical manufacturing plant, SPC might be used to monitor the, let's just say, temperature of a mixing tank. And if the temperatures deviate from those set limits on the control chart, production can also be paused to prevent the creation of substandard products. In a real world insight, as an example, Toyota uses SPC extensively in its assembly lines, but that is to ensure that parts meet precise specifications, reducing rework and waste. And then, of course, you have the Six Sigma. And in the Six Sigma, this is a more rigorous data driven approach that aims to reduce defects and variations in the process. It seeks to near perfection performance, aiming for no more than 3.4 defects per million opportunities, meaning that the Six Sigma uses these tools like DMAIC, meaning define, measure, analyze, improve, and control, to systematically identify and eliminate inefficiencies in processes. Now this Six Sigma here is a quality management philosophy that aims to improve processes by identifying and removing those causes of defects, reducing variability, and also achieving the consistent quality. Keep all of this in mind, and it's very important to remember in any of this that I'm speaking or lecturing about in the Six Sigma, okay? Because you will see it again, maybe not in another class, but in most likely in your professional career. You will hear about it, you will see it. Yeah, and the same goes with lean systems. Now, this DMAIC, and of course the DMADV, define, measure, analyze, design, verify. These are tailored for improving existing processes or even designing new ones. Let's just say, for an example, General Electric, GE. The Six Sigma was famously implemented in the 1990s, and that was to enhance efficiency across all of its divisions in one project. And Six Sigma here helped GE reduce its invoicing errors, which saved millions and billions, and saved millions in billing costs, and it also improved customer satisfaction. You know, the industry insight here, Motorola, the originator of Six Sigma, it used it to enhance product reliability in its semiconductor division, meaning reducing those defects and achieving a faster time to market. Also, for instance, a tech company, they may even use the Six Sigma to refine its software development process, reducing bugs and improving performance to match customer expectations. Okay, keep in mind that SPC and Six Sigma, they complement one another. Okay, each one of these, SPC is very, very crucial. Keep in mind, SPC is crucial for real-time monitoring and immediate corrective actions, while Six Sigma itself drives the long-term process improvement by addressing the root causes, of those defects. Let's just say, for an example, an airline, it could use SPC, statistical process control, and that is they could use it to track baggage handling times at airports and apply the Six Sigma, and that is to improve logistic processes, ultimately reducing lost luggage incidents. Then you have here the DMAIC process, in Six Sigma quality system. And what you see here, this is to improve the existing business process. This DMIC, as I've mentioned, what the acronym stands for, define, measure, analyze, improve, and control. This represents a systematic data-driven approach, and that is to achieve and sustain high quality outcomes, but it also aims to eliminate defects, reducing variability, and optimize processes. Okay. Now, this detailed breakdown here that you see here in this process to define the problem, in this phase, this is where it starts. In this particular phase, this is where the focus is on identifying and clear defining the problem that needs to be resolved. This also involves, setting clear project goals and scope, understanding customer requirements, which is also known as CTQ, or critical to quality, and also aligning these with business objectives. Let's just say, as an example, in a retail chain, The problem here might be defined as delays in checkout times during peak hours, impacting that customer satisfaction. Then, of course, then you move on to the next one, which is measure that current performance. And here, this involves gathering the quantum and quantifying the data related to the problem itself. Measurement aims to establish a baseline performance, identify those key metrics, and even assess the extent of the issue itself. Tools like process maps, data collection plans, even control charts, they're often used. As an example, here would be in the checkout. And in this particular phase, could involve tracking the average time customers spend in line and recording peak times of customer traffic. The next one you have is analyze causes of deviation from standards, meaning that in this analysis phase here, it seeks to identify the root causes of the problems itself and deviation from the desired standards. Techniques say like a root cause analysis, Pareto charts, fishbone diagrams. These are employed to explore why defects or inefficiencies occur. As a matter of fact, I've actually done a root cause analysis. Um, I could have shared something like that. I actually have a report that we did on this as an example. And it was a very, very lengthy report regarding a product malfunction, improving processes by fixing those root causes. Okay. And in this phase right here, this focuses on implementing those solutions that address the identified root causes solutions, which are tested, refined, optimized to ensure the improvements in the process, even the performance. It may also involve revising the workflows, restraining staff, introducing automation, or even upgrading equipment. Let's just say, for example, in the retail scenario, improvements could include adding self-checkout lanes, optimizing staffing schedules, or even streamlining payment methods to speed up transactions, as an example. And then of course you have control process long term to ensure performance, meaning that in this final phase right here, this ensures that the improvements are sustained over time, and it also and it also involves implementing controls, let's just say, such as monitoring systems, setting new process standards, and even using statistical tools to maintain consistent quality. And in this example, in the store here, the regular audits of checkout times, staff feedbacks, and customer surveys would also help maintain that efficiency. So in this particular process, the DMAC is very essential in the Six Sigma. Okay, it's designed to provide a structured, repeatable approach for process improvement, making it applicable across a wide range of industries. Let's just say from manufacturing to healthcare. And it also involves improvements that are not only achieved but also sustained, it minimizes the risk of reverting to the previous performance levels, as an example. Then, of course, you have the ISO 9000. Okay, product and process quality. I think I've gone over this. I know I have. I believe in chapter 5, I introduced it, a couple of ISO 9000. Okay, this stands for International Organization for Standardization. Okay, this is a globally recognized set of standards for quality management systems, which is known as QMS. Okay, and it also establishes the requirements for creating, implementing, and maintaining efficient QMS, focusing on consistently meeting the customer requirements and also improving the overall performance. Okay, you need consistency, and this ISO 9000 ensures that organizations consistently produce products or even deliver services that meet customer needs and comply with applicable regulations. Credibility and trust, meaning that the certification here signals to customers and the stakeholders that a company or the organization is committed to quality, but it also builds, keep in mind, trust and enhances a company's reputation, making it a preferred partner for both clients and even suppliers. It's a global standardization, meaning that it's a universally accepted standard. And it also allows companies to operate seamlessly across different markets, facilitating international trade, even partnerships. And of course, continuous improvement. The ISO 9000, keep in mind, emphasizing emphasizes, sorry, ongoing processes improvements. Even it encourages those organizations to refine their workflows, reduce waste, and enhance overall efficiency. Now it also has some benefits. You know, the benefits of implementing this ISO 9000. uh, Sorry, the first one was the importance. This is the benefits. And the benefits here is to improve customer satisfaction, meaning that the standard emphasis on meeting the customer requirements leads to higher satisfaction as products and services are aligned more closely with even those expectations. Operational efficiency. And by having the standardized processes, this ISO 9000 right here reduces those errors, cuts down, rework, and also streamlines workflow, ultimately saving time and resources. And of course, it has a stronger competitive edge, meaning that the companies with the ISO 9000 certification often have a competitive advantage to the marketplace in itself, as the certification is frequently required in bids for international contracts and government projects. It's also better risk management, meaning that it includes a systematic approach to managing those risks and enables those organizations to identify potential issues early and implement preventative measures. And it also enhances the employee engagement, meaning that implementing a QMS also encourages employee involvement as the workers understand their roles in maintaining quality. And this often leads to improved morale, accountability, and even productivity. So let's just say a manufacturing firm. It produces automated parts and it adopts the ISO 9000 to enhance the quality consistency. Now, as a result of all of this, the company reduces its defects by, let's say, 20%. And it also now gains new contracts with major automobile manufacturers who require the certification. And they also see a 30% increase in customer satisfaction, scores due to the improved product reliability. Now, this ISO 9000 here, it emphasizes on the customer centric processes and standardized quality management, which now makes it a critical tool for achieving sustained excellence and global, competitiveness. And then we're getting near the end. As you know, every lecture has something having to do with AI, something to do with technology at the end. Now, this Industry 4.0 right here, which is also known as the fourth industrial revolution, it represents the next phase of manufacturing, where digital technologies are now integrated with physical production systems. Now, this goes beyond the traditional automation, by creating smart factories that use cyber physical systems. And this is a blend of digital technologies such as artificial intelligence, the Internet of Things, big data, and advanced robotics. Now, these core concepts of Industry 4.0 is the cyber physical systems. And these are just integrations of software, sensors, and mechanical systems that interact in real time, allowing those machines to communicate with each other and make autonomous decisions. Now, this setup here, it creates a network of machines capable of analyzing and responding to changes that are, instantly. And then, of course, you have the AI integration. And this plays a central role in the Industry 4.0 by enabling the machines to learn, let's just say, from data, adapt to new inputs, and even optimize operations without human intervention. And this AI-driven analytics, they improve the decision-making, predict maintenance needs, and also enhance the product quality. And then, of course, you have the smart factories. And in these smart factories here, they're unlike traditional factories that rely on linear production processes. Smart factories, they're more highly adaptable and capable of customizing production quickly to meet customer demand. Now, these IoT, which is the Internet of Things, this IoT sensors, AI algorithms and real-time data analysis to manage your operations, efficiently. Now, what direction are we headed in? With AI, the journey, as you can say, is toward fully realizing the Industry 4.0, which is AI driven, as it shifts from basic automation to cognitive automation. And that's meaning where these machines not only perform those tasks, but they also understand processes, predict outcomes, and they enhance productivity, in this key development phases. Now this predictive maintenance AI systems, it predicts equipment failures before they even occur, reducing downtime and extending the machine lifespan. But it also enhances the supply chain, meaning that these algorithms here, AI algorithms, they analyze data from global supply chains to identify those bottlenecks, predicting those disruptions, and also optimizing the logistics, making the supply chains faster and more resilient. The advanced robotics, meaning that the collaborative robots or cobots, they're guided by AI and they work alongside the human workers to improve precision, speed, and safety in the production tasks. And then, of course, the customized production, meaning that AI allows for greater personalization in manufacturing where products can also be tailored to individual customer needs without sacrificing efficiency. Now, keep in mind, this Industry 4.0, it's just not about smarter machines. It's about creating a more flexible, efficient, and customer-centric production system or ecosystem. Sorry about that. Now, with the AI at heart of this transformation, okay? So as we wrap up chapter 9, production systems, remember, adopting a system's perspectives helps us see the organization as a connected whole with principles like adaptability, and the strategic focus, strengthening our management skills. Also, two, the value chain and value web add value to products and services, though global partnerships and offshoring come with other challenges and ethical considerations. Okay, three, effective supply chain management is also essential, say, for reducing costs and staying competitive by coordinating resources from suppliers to its consumers for the key planning decisions, meaning that in production, like layout, scheduling, and inventory, they lay the foundation for operational success. Five, service delivery, meaning brings that unique challenge from variability to customer expectations, requiring a steady focus on consistency and even quality. Six, ensuring quality, meaning that in complex products, it's very, very crucial. Tools like TQM and Six Sigma, which helps us meet high standards. And finally, that Industry 4.0 and the Smart Factory, which are transforming production using technology to drive efficiency and adaptability. Now, these principles here and tools, they set the stage for managing production systems effectively. So I want to thank everyone. Hopefully you watched the whole lecture, and let's keep moving forward. Thank you.